Hi guys, this is Loaded Investor speaking. Today we're looking at the current affairs of Wall Street bets on Reddit versus Wall Street giants and short sellers. Is this a loony gambling craze, or is there a bigger plan at hand? Let's find out. So GameStop went up 1,700% to 24 billion from 2 billion in just a matter of days. And other people like myself who aren't on the Reddit forums are thinking, what the bloody hell is going on? So, I'm generally curious about this. So I did a lot of research the past few days and I gathered a lot of information. So I'm going to share this with you guys in a short video just to get you guys up to speed, because it's not nice having your investment strategy chugging along, doing well, finding a system, and then an absolute curveball comes in and you just don't know what's real anymore. So let's take a little dig inside and find out what's going on. So even Mark Cuban's son is profiting from GameStop's rise. So first of all, you've got the Wall Street bets and Reddit rallying for the common people for retail purchases of stock. So you have a lot of rallying on the Reddit forums and what seems to be across the globe. Wall Street bets have a cult following around 7 million, and it looks like some kind of hit job in the big boys of the stock game and taking advantage of supposedly oversold and shorted stocks. So here's a post on the Reddit forums. It seems to be some kind of international gathering. Thank God for our bros in Asia and Europe driving this on. Got word across the pond that news is starting to spread like California wildfire. Aussie traders are aping right now. We've started a revolution. Don't forget about the Latin Americans who have pennies, but sure, we like to help. In India too, UK, Dutch guy here. So very much a global gathering and some kind of movement here going on. Let's start with finding the why behind the emotions of the attack launched by Wall Street bets and Reddit. I'm seeing bitterness of these guys towards the big hitters, claiming that they're always being called stupid or completely underestimated and laughed away by the top dogs at Wall Street and short selling companies, and just being made a complete joke out of Reddit claims. So there is a deeper element to this, and there's posts linked back to the 2008 recession and how families were stung back then, and they see this as some kind of a revenge. So let's take a look at an open letter on Reddit. Right, an open letter to Melbourne Capital, CNBC, Boomers and WSB. I'm going to need the specs on for this one. I was in my early teens during the '08 crisis. I vividly remember the enormous repercussions that the reckless actions by those on Wall Street had in my personal life and the lives of those close to me. I was fortunate. My parents were prudent and a little paranoid, and they had some food storage shaved up. When that crisis hit our family, we had to keep our little house, but we lived off pancake mix and powdered milk and beans and rice for a year. Jesus. Ever since then, my parents have kept a food storage and kept it updated and fresh. Well, thank God for that. To Melbourne Capital, you stand for everything I hated during that time. You're a firm who makes money off exploiting a company and manipulating markets and media to your advantage. Your continued existence is a sharp reminder that the ones in charge of so much hardship during the '08 crisis were not punished, and your blatant disregard for the law, made obvious months ago, your obscene market manipulation after hours, shows that you haven't learned a single thing since '08. And why would you? Your equal bailed out, and a reward for terrible and illegal financial decisions that negatively changed the life of millions. I bought shares a few days ago. I dumped my savings into Game, paid rent for this month with my credit card, and dumped the rent money more into Game, which the people here at Wall Street Bets I would not recommend, neither would I. And I'm holding. This is personal for me and millions of others. You can't drop the price of Game after hours 120. I'm not going anywhere. You can pay for 1,000 Reddit bots. I'm holding. You can get every mainstream outlet to demonize us. So I don't care. I'm making this as painful as I can for you. Yeah, so for some people it seems a lot deeper than just making a quick buck or something. It seems like they're willing to sacrifice money for some greater good. The rank goes on, and then he's obviously calling for the herd to gather their retirement funds for one last push. They've been manipulating the game since the start of the time. Now they don't like it when poor retail investors are eating their lunch. It's a free market. Government and all sorts of funds have been playing the same game for ages. Saw us short the British pound 92, almost bankrupt the Bank of England. I think it's been bankrupt for a while though. And that was all okay, but for individuals to enter the foreign and stock market success by offending a hedge fund or two, whose strategy is to short investors' profits, how dare them? some sort of excommunicado as well. Now we seem to be entering the realm of Middle Earth. Oh shit, an hour of walls and shattered shields, when the age of men comes crashing down, but it is not this day. You could say Gandalf held his position, held long enough for the riders of Rohan to come. Wow, this is getting really deep now. Now getting on to the tactics of Wall Street Bets and Reddit. So to define a short squeeze, what is a short squeeze? A short squeeze occurs when a stock or asset jumps and the people that are bet for that stock to go down are forced to buy more up to cover their losses. But in this, this only squeezes the stock higher, which adds to that forward momentum and can create, overnight millionaires, but also a lot of people do get stung. So it's a very, very dangerous place to be in. More like a battlefield than a stock market trade. So the sword had been swung, the blow has been made. Short sellers are nursing an estimated of 19 billion in 2021 after GameStop share price would fall. So essentially, the longer the Wall Street Bets herd can hold, the more time the shorters will have to pay annualised return fees to the brokers that they borrow the shares off. If they wait to buy back at a later date, if it drops and the herd pull out, or they're forced to buy back the shares now, driving it up further to then give it back to the broker at a loss, but they're going to minimise their losses if it does stay there. However, if they do stay and wait, they can pay up to over 100% on annualised return fees for the brokers to give to the brokers are loading the shares. So if the Wall Street Bets herd can attack companies with a high short percentage and also a high percent annualised return fees for the brokers, it could seem quite damaging, and it has done. I mean, they've lost billions already, the Wall Street giants. So if we look at another Reddit post, YMC, Blackberry, Nokia went down during after hours. Hedge fund managers, short sellers and market makers using their extended hour trading to scare retail traders you off. Most retail traders you lack the ability to trade before and after the market opens closes. This is why it was currently down. Once retail traders you are able to get back into the market open tomorrow, this will go up again. This is an attempt to scare people away from the stock. It will happen every single evening for the next several days, so be prepared for this. If it's too stressful for you, please put your phone computer away and check again. Don't let these hedge fund managers and Wall Street elites trick you into panic selling. Hold, 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 hold. So here comes the counter from the big boys at Wall Street. People banned from buying GameStop and AMC on multiple trading platforms. Here's a message from 212. Unprecedented market activity in GameStop caused extreme strain on the entire execution ecosystem worldwide. Big words. We want you to warn you of the potential disruptions due to the excessive market and risk of trading extremely volatile shares. That they care about your money and they don't want you taking that risk, and they want you to make money apparently. And order execution of stocks with incredible heightened trading activity such as GameStop and AMC might face sudden unforeseen circumstances. Please consider the risks before placing an order with these securities. And I think at one point you're entirely banned from ordering it at all.
And it's gone.
What?
It's gone. It's all gone.
So the UK's regulator warned that traders should make sure they are familiar with all the rules, including market abuse. The FCA said that they are aware of the situation and continues to closely monitor trading in UK markets. UK investors should take care when trading shares in highly volatile market conditions. They fully understand the risks they are taking. This applies to UK investors trading both US and UK stocks. US Securities and Exchange Commodities said extreme stock price volatility has the potential to expose investors to rapid and severe losses and undermine market confidence. It's warned against manipulative and illegal trading and said it would review actions that might disadvantage investors, such as a stop in trading on Thursday. I mean, I can sort of see the point that they're coming from, because I mean, other people might try and jump on this bandwagon and lose considerable money, but I think it's generally a bigger move than that, and I think this play is quite an intelligent play. And saying that, and the people need looking after that, there's risks involved, so that then they can go ahead and manipulate it like they've done for decades. I think this is what has pissed off Reddit even more, making out that they're babies and they're stupid and then they have to mother them. It's government does it all the time. You got to stay here, you got to stay there. It's for your own safety. We know best. Do they? There was outrage all over the internet and a bombardment of bad reviews towards Robinhood, including 1-star rating, all plastered all over Google, and it was the same for 212. If we take a look as well, the broadcaster here, doing my part as a broadcaster to tell the truth about Robinhood and their manipulation. Online broker Robinhood lifts some restrictions after blocking trading about 13 stocks, including GameStop and AMC. The CEO says restrictions were to protect the firm and its customers. Right now, people can trade those volatile stocks, but they're limited on how much they can buy. I think it got limited to like 5 shares or something. Robinhood had already been hit with a class action lawsuit for allowing people to sell the shares of those select stocks yesterday. And if we look at some of the reviews, actual joke of a company owned by a bunch of hypocritical jokesters, limiting their stocks to appeal to the rich, such a shame. Based on their appeal, helping the average guy invest, but when the average guy starts beating the stupidly rich, they freeze the stock, screwing over their fans, and now their company dug their own grave. In defense of these platforms, I mean, they give an instant and clear and free service for millennials to start trading on, which probably caused this big wave in the first place. I mean, if you try pulling off a stunt like GameStop on the old methods of sending letters and paying for your trades, then it'd be near impossible. You'd feel like Kevin Costner from The Postman. Outside influences will inevitably have an effect on 212 and Robinhood. I mean, these are just the platforms, and the Wall Street behemoths more likely to ensure that the right protocols are taken so minimal losses occur. I mean, personally, I'm grateful for 212 for giving me an instant and clear interface. It's absolutely free, and I don't think they should be getting the hits on the reviews that they're getting at the moment. So if we take a look at this, generally you've got the investor like you and me, and then you've got 212 and Robinhood, which would be the middle ground interface, and the market maker would be managing the funds such as Citadel. So no doubt Citadel would have come down like a ton of bricks on the platforms like 212 and Robinhood, with having short interest in GameStop. And it's the platforms that will take the hit and not the big corp, because that's obviously the front line that the investors, like the people on Reddit and me and you, will see. So they did eventually relieve the restrictions on AMC and GameStop, so the herd then rushed back to their allies.
Muster the row, hear him.
And GameStop did boom back up again to the levels of 340 where it was before. However, foul play was apparently still at hand, because you can only buy a maximum of about 5 shares. So this did stop that charge a big amount, and obviously this benefits the Wall Street behemoths, and the quicker they can get the stock back down, they stop losing annualized percentage rates on the stocks they borrowed for shortage. However, this does sort of expose them, and it does show the foul play, and this is what caused this big outrage of the Reddit followers, and then obviously 212 and Robinhood took the stick for it. These events have been compared to the outrage of the White House being stormed. However, I think instead of blaming one political party this time, the Reddit and online community does have decentralization on their side, where the sole responsibility can't be taken on one focus area of the movement. Similar to the tactics of Wall Street and Big Corp. There's just too many people to take into account to make any prosecution in this crowd rowdy movement. So it's the same as Reddit blaming 212 or Robinhood blaming the platforms. I don't think there's any blame to have at all in a certain area, a certain department on any two sides at this point. So overall, I think the offensive of Wall Street Bets is a concoction of people not wanting to be manipulated by the market, get some payback and fulfill their ego. Other people that were heavily hit by the 2008 recession, some there for a bit of fun, and others want to just make a quick buck. So I think it's impressive what Reddit and Wall Street Bets has achieved. However, the eye watches and is moving in as we speak.
Riders of Theoden! Spears shall be shaken! Shields shall be splintered! A sword day! A red day! And the sun!